Nationwide League champions and plenty to shout about. A new millennium and a wave of optimism swept through South East London as Charlton Athletic geared themselves towards another Premiership campaign.
12 months on and they're raising the roof here at the Valley at the end of Charlton's best season for nearly 50 years. They've made it into the top 10 of the Premier League, let alone the top 20. So let's turn back the clock and relive a truly fantastic season.
Millions were spent in the summer months on players who would integrate within a tightly knit squad in preparation for the challenge ahead. £4 million record signing Klaus Jensen arrived from Bolton Wanderers, along with Jonathan Johansson, who cost a fraction less from Rangers, but who would have to wait for his debut because of a hamstring injury. Bulgarian international Radostin Kishishev was also recruited to strengthen the right flank. First up then, Manchester City. They'd finished runners-up in Division 1, but Charlton were out to prove they'd summered rather better and that the table doesn't lie. Before the action, a minute's silence was impeccably observed in memory of Pierre Boulanger, a youth academy scholar who tragically died on a pre-season training course.
City have got 3 in the wall. And it's left for Jensen. Oh, what a start it might have been. And a fine save as well by Nicky Weaver, who's looking to enhance his growing reputation this season in top class. And he starts well here, the goalkeeper. That's a real curler from Jensen. Turned over for a corner. That's Tyler. Oh, now is he offside, Lisby? Oh, he's missed it. He's hit the frame of the goal when he should surely have scored. And the flag stayed down. That's in again by Tyler. What an opportunity for Charlton to open their account. Kevin Lisby at 19 had a wonderful opportunity here. He got the ball down well. The flag stays down, you'll notice. He hits the bar. Charlton have made the strongest start here. This is Powell. Jensen. Good running by Hunt. Oh, he's onside as well. It's Andy Hunt. Chance again. Goal! Moment of jubilation for Charlton and their supporters. The first goal of the season at the Valley in the Premiership. And it's last season's top scorer, Andy Hunt. And the curious thing is, when he takes this really well, he's onside, City caught out again, square, comes inside too and fires it in. Last season, Hunt scored 24 league goals, but only 6 of them were here at the Valley. He intends to change the ratio this year, and that's a good start. Oh, and there is a chance indeed for one chop, and it comes off the nearest City have been. Paolo Wanchop, close to opening his account. It's the long throw from Alf-Inge Haaland that really causes the trouble here for Charlton. The flick on, and Wanchop there. What a good save. I think that's a hand onto the post from Dean Kiley. Excellent save. A flick on by Lisby to Hunt. Oh, it's a good return as well. And Lisby has broken through here for Charlton. Can he make it too? No, he can't. Weaver's foot, and now Robinson, and Weaver's foot again, and a goal! And John Robinson has made it 2-0. And Nicky Weaver, having saved with his foot once, couldn't do it the second time. More joy on the Charlton faces. And Kevin Lisby, initially here, makes the break, beautifully set up by Andy Hunt, it should be said, but Lisby here goes on himself. Nicky Weaver saves with his right foot, and then when the ball comes out to Robinson, the goalkeeper tries to do the same again and misses it.
Second goal of the afternoon. Who's going to score in goals? Number 11, John Robinson.
Must be really pleased, Alan Kirbishley, with the movement that Charlton have produced. Keith Peacock behind him. And now Jensen. Lisby wants it played through. It's gone, in fact, to Stewart, who is onside. Hunt's underneath this. On the bar! Oh, and Lisby! Oh, not off the bar again, surely. Nicky Weaver got a hand to the first one, I think. Charlton so close to number 3, but at the other end it's Wright Phillips, and he's put Kennedy in for City. Still Kennedy. Cross was too long, and the Charlton fans still asking themselves how those two stayed out. It's Lisby again. Kinsella well forward, Stewart on the run, and back in again to Kinsella, and that one has gone in. It's 3-0, and the captain Mark Kinsella scores with a perfectly placed shot, and Charlton get the reward that their early attack deserved. It's pulled back to him by Graham Stewart, and talk about pick your spot. That is perfection from Mark Kinsella. Steered it almost with the outside of the right foot. What a classic piece of technique this is. Goalkeeper and defenders can only watch. And the valley has erupted. Lisby. Oh, no flag. Kinsella signalled to the assistant referee, and he was right, and he's got brought down by Weaver. Penalty. And Nicky Weaver's in trouble. Referee's calling him across, the goalkeeper who brought Kinsella down. Did you see the gesture from Kinsella to the assistant referee? No, I'm not offside. He had time to do that. And a yellow card for the goalkeeper for bringing down the Charlton captain inside the area. This looked as though it was going to be 4-0. Well, there's definite contact. And Graham Stewart has put the ball on the spot. He will take the penalty. It's 4! Number 4 from number 4. Well, what an afternoon they're having here. These 18,000 Charlton season ticket holders get value for money on day one. Graham Stewart tucks away the penalty, and this has now become something of a rout. Well, they've both been promoted from Division 1 to the Premiership, but on today's showing, City don't seem to belong to the same league as Charlton. Referee Rob Harris gives the final signal. Alan Kirbishley, starting his 10th year as Charlton manager, couldn't wish for a better start to that and to the Premiership campaign. His team did him proud, and nobody more so than Mark Kinsella, who emphasised that he is a Premiership player of some class in midfield and leads Charlton to a sparkling opening day performance.
We're obviously very pleased to win 4-0 and play well, but we done that 2 years ago, I seem to remember, and you know, we know it's a long season, but if you ask any manager today, they need to, you need to get a win, and on top of that, if you can play well, then fine, and that's what we've got.
We've done well in the market this summer. I think Curbs has brought in some decent players, and you know, the whole club's been lifted, and we're looking forward to the season. I think it showed today on the football.
Perhaps the squad's a bit stronger, but you know, we know it's a long season, so we're hopeful that we can do well. For us to do well, Garth, we've got to win games here. We didn't win enough games at the Valley, and that's going to be our problem, I think.
Top of the Premiership for one game at least, but it wouldn't last. Carl Tyler's sending off at Everton 4 days later following this clash with Mark Hughes. His second bookable offence on the same player was the turning point in an otherwise evenly balanced match. Tyler off, the Addicks down to 10 men for 55 minutes. All the goals came in the second half as Thomas Gravison and Paul Gascoigne found the room to impose themselves on the game. Francis Jeffers scored Everton's first. The big headlines would be written by Duncan Ferguson. Back at Everton, he came on to a hero's welcome and compounded Charlton's misery with 2 late goals. It was far more than Everton could have hoped for, and far less than Charlton deserved. Charlton's character would now be tested at Highbury. They'd return home pointless, but what an amazing advert for Premier League football.
Good turn by Kanu. And through to Vieira! Oh, yes! It had to be him, didn't it? Jensen. Tried to slip it through the legs of Vieira. It's in towards Lisby. It's Hunt! Arsenal fell asleep and Andy Hunt has made them pay. Hunt. Able to feed it to Stewart, but it's all pretty tight in the centre. Lisby. Keown coming across, committing himself and not getting too much of the ball. Robinson. Oh, Arsenal marking's awful. It's 2-1. It's Andy Hunt again. Vieira looks in disbelief, as well he might. Charlton are ahead at a ground that they haven't won at since the 50s. The Frenchman shows the watching Sylvain Wiltord what he's got to emulate here at Highbury. Lisby. 2 white shirts heading into the centre, and one of them is Graham Stewart! 3 goals for any team at Highbury is a rarity, and Charlton are ahead. They cannot believe it, and nor can Arsenal. Kanu. Vieira's on the edge of the penalty area. Patrick Vieira! Oh my word, what an afternoon, what a week, what a season he's having! Kanu. Thierry Henry racing into the centre. Thierry Henry! Silvinho. It's opened up for the Brazilian. Chance for 5. Let's see a remarkable comeback by Arsenal.
Back at the Valley against Southampton, and stand by for a super sub home debut from Jonathan Johansson. But first, Charlton had to overcome another numerical disadvantage.
Rufus. Well taken down by Andy Hunt. He's looking to get a shot in. Robinson will! It's about the player that he scored against Manchester City, a very similar sort of position. Andy Hunt, whose excellent chest down led to the opportunity. Robinson didn't quite get hold of it. Great anticipation. What an excellent opportunity this is for Charlton. Over the top, Kinsella, and the shot from Jensen kicked off the line quite magnificently. What a fantastic volleyed save off the line that was. Was it Dean Richards again? Hoddle is right to the edge of his technical box, passing on instructions. Oakley. Now Steve Brown has already been booked. And Charlton, are they about to lose another centre-half sent off? Carl Tyler was sent off at Everton. That was the match before last. I think the referee's going to his pocket Mark Kinsella is pleading his case, but Brown is off. Well, this is the incident. Brown actually comes in from the side. Well, if contact was there, it wasn't as strong as Uwe Rosser is making out, surely. There's once again. There's Cashlul. And Pahars! Well, Kylie managed to get both hands to it, but he couldn't keep it out of the back of the net. And Marian Pahars has his third goal of the season. Kinsella, Hunt onto Johansson! Well, they really do deserve to be level, Charlton. And the signing from Rangers, with his first goal for the club, makes sure that they are level. Andy Hunt with the flick on. And Johansson brings it down well, evades the challenge of Lundekvam and scores. He can pick it up for Southampton. Tessum, that was a very, very needed block by Andy Todd, but they've given it away. Charlton, here's Tessum! Great save by Dean Kiley. Authors of their own misfortune there, Charlton. They had the chance to clear it and they didn't.
A live television audience witnessed events at Pride Park as Charlton picked up their first away point of the season. And as someone once said, it's a game of two halves.
There's the Norwegian Ragstad, and Charlton have completely lost track of Christie. Now can he tuck it away? He does! Well, the signs were here for goals, and we've had to wait less than 7 minutes. Malcolm Christie, in from the outset today, on target again. But the lack on a burst, he's up alongside Christie. Put the ball back with the Valakari. Safe and sensible to Aranio. Well, we've got a lot of players forward here. But Valakari. It is Valakari! Oh, he scored for Derby County! The midfield player with no track record in front of goal. And what a time to do it, half-time approaching, they lead 2-0. Lisbeth. Johansson to his left. Only Jensen in the centre. That might be enough, it is. 2-1.
Well, what a spot from Jonathan Johansson, Mark. I can't tell you what a great ball this was in. He only has an option, it's a wonderful break. I mean, much like Derby's second goal, they break from their own goal, the whole length of the pitch. Now, just watch this. He's only got one option here. He's only got one player in here. But what a spot that is. What a ball that was across the face of the 6-yard box. Full marks to Jensen. He played it and kept going, and he got his reward. A simple tap-in that really does put Charlton back in this football match.
Johansson, 2-2. Derby have lost a 2-0 lead at Pride Park.
Well, it's quite staggering. I told you the next goal might shape this game. Now who would you bet winning this match? Quite incredible that this ball can travel the length it has, Martin, and there's a goal on the end of it. They don't deal with it. It's a lovely flick by Hunt. Goalkeeper thinks he's done his part, doesn't get the luck he thinks he deserves. Jonathan Johansson thinks, well, I've deserved this little bit of luck for my creation of the first goal, and it ends up a simple tap-in. But the header on from Hunt, the big moment. Brackstadt doesn't follow Johansson, his pace was too much.
Throughout the season, the storm clouds were never far away from George Graham and Tottenham, and the North Londoners were next to leave the Valley empty-handed.
Tarico.
Rebroff. This is Leonard's. Everson. Oh, he's clipped it onto the crossbar, Tarico. Charlton's goal survives again. Here's Jensen on the break. No width on the right side, so here's Powell on the left. Johansson. Powell. Robinson. Now can he deliver an important ball? Oh, it clipped front, and that changed the direction, and Neil Sullivan couldn't get back to it, but he's saved by the post. So Charlton's response to having their own woodwork rattled is to do the same to Tottenham. Well, Charlton supporters enjoyed an excellent season when their team won the Division 1 Championship to reclaim their place in the Premiership. And the evidence of the attendances at the first 3 games suggests they're going to support them well in this season. And Jonas Johansson draws the first blood. Graham Stewart just let it run, and that put the 25-year-old Finnish international striker in the clear, and it's tucked away with real aplomb for his 3rd goal in 3 games. Graham Stewart's little dummy seemed to catch Sol Campbell out, and the first goal coming as we move into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Ferdinand to Rebroff. Ferdinand, Everson, Leonardson. Brown, who got to it first, back from Sherwood. Ferdinand! Oh, what a save! Les Ferdinand must have thought that was goal number 3 for the season. Just inside the penalty area, the ball running free, no defender in front of him. Everson, who made it possible, he could hardly have hit it harder. What an excellent save from the man capped by the Republic of Ireland 4 times, bought from Bury in May of last year for $1 million. Tarico. Ferdinand! Oh, he's done it again! And then the follow-up shot as well from Everson is saved by Kiley. Well, nobody heads a ball better than that in that position than Les Ferdinand, and he got that one perfectly, but he still couldn't beat the Charlton keeper. And Charlton more concerned with running down the clock perhaps than getting goal number 2. Johansson into Kinsella. Robinson. Oh! Well, both keepers have produced excellent saves in this match to deny opponents goals. Sullivan may have seen it late with the defender in front of him.
Put some crosses, made some saves. You know, saves at good times in the match. Obviously, we had a bit of possession. Then, with us going 1-0 up, you know, we're going to come under a bit of pressure. So it's nice to make some saves in it.
When called upon, he pulled off some world-class saves. I mean, I played against Dean on the lower leagues, and I was delighted he signed for us 2 years ago. And he gives us something at the back. He keeps the defenders on their toes. And when, like I said, when called upon, he pulls off some great saves for us.
You must have broken Les Ferdinand's heart, didn't you? Save one thunderous shot and then a well-directed header.
Yeah, I said afterwards that I shut my eyes and a few of them hit me, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm more than happy the way it went.
Another clean sheet followed in the league at St James's Park a week later. Newcastle has long been considered a happy hunting ground for Charlton, and the 3 points were secured by Graham Stewart's close-range header after only 6 minutes. The long journey had been worthwhile, The travelling fans had something to cheer about. Defensively, Charlton were outstanding, and the margin of victory could have been greater, with captain Mark Kinsella leading by example and inspiring his teammates to their first away win of the season.
On the road, we haven't really got our just desserts for one reason or another, but we needed to get a win. I was talking to Bobby before the game, and if you get an away win in the Premiership, it's a big win, and you know, we're really delighted.
Charlton's excellent home form was put to the test by Coventry City, who proved to be difficult opponents at the Valley. Charlton survived to remain unbeaten in the Premier League throughout September.
And on the break, Coventry with Aloisi and Bellamy going ahead of him. Bellamy's pulled off to the back post. Aloisi was covered, and a shot, and it's gone underneath Kylie for a goal. John Aloisi's luck holds, hat-trick in midweek, and a goal in off the Republic of Ireland goalkeeper. Edmund had started to come, and he could be in trouble here. Johansson has hit the bar, but it'll go in. It's 1-1. Johansson hit the bar, and Andy Hunt was in the right place at the moment when it mattered. One apiece. 59 minutes played. Maybe an error of judgment by the goalkeeper. Came and didn't get it. Johansson saw his chance, and he's been in such confident form, he was entitled to have a go, and he was entitled to have the support from Hunt. That may be Hunt's last contribution to the game. He now gives way to Kevin Lisbeth. Well, obviously that decision had been made before Hunt scored the goal, and it wasn't enough to earn him a reprieve, merely a pat on the head from Sasha Ilic. And Kerbishley in consultation with Mervyn Day. Gordon Strachan also down on the touchline. Handball, it looked like, and it was. I don't think there was much doubt about it. Can't think what possessed Rufus. Pushed, that's his complaint. We'll have a look. Well, it didn't look like it to me. It was an absolute aberration. Yellow card. It really was quite extraordinary. Well, Aloisi scored a penalty in midweek. He's not going to be given the option here. Put away with great confidence by Bellamy. Looking for Lisby over on this side. Not off for Shields. And all there, this is Shields. And there are 5 if he can find one. And it's 2-2! Johansson gets his reward at last. On the watch, and a spectacular scissors kick by Jonathan Johansson brings his total to 7 goals in 8 appearances since he came to Charlton. The goals keep coming for you.
Yeah, well, so far so good. It's a confident thing, goal scoring, and if you get a couple, you feel you can score every game, and it's been going well now.
At the time, there seemed little significance to Andy Hunt's substitution during the Coventry game. It proved to be his final appearance in a Charlton shirt. 8 months later, and just 30 years of age, Hunt was forced to retire because of post-viral fatigue syndrome, a debilitating complaint that denied him a comeback on 4 separate occasions. Hunt's 24 goals played a major part in Charlton's championship-winning season. His final contribution had been to put the ball in the opposition's net, a fitting end to a career sadly cut short. The Premiership table made good reading at the end of September, 12 points from 8 games and a very healthy 6th place. In the Worthington Cup, however, it had been a different story, as Charlton went out to Stoke City in the second round. Jonathan Johansson put Charlton ahead in the away leg at the Britannia Stadium. And despite fielding an under-strength team, they looked comfortable, until a contentious penalty decision allowed Stoke back into the game on the stroke of half-time. Stefan Thordarson scoring from the spot. And then 19-year-old birthday boy Mark Goodfellow won the match for Stoke in the 85th minute. The smart money, though, was still on Charlton, overturning the deficit at the Valley a week later. It was close, but not close enough.
Oh, and a shocking back pass here. Lisby. Great chance for Charlton to take the lead, and Kevin Lisby takes advantage of that horrible mistake in defence by Stoke City, and the tie's all square again. Still just the 1 goal scored on the night, despite the fact that Charlton have had so much possession, and for once Jensen has lost it, and Lightbourne is the man away. Might have to do it all by himself here. Then he's still got a ball through, chance for Stoke, and a corner is in, and Stoke City get an equaliser. Charlton are not finding life easy against Stoke here. Johansson, and it's in! And Jonathan Johansson has done it again. Stoke advancing, showing some ambition. McDonnell is caught here. And this is big trouble for Nicky Mohan. He's going to go off here because he's already been booked. And if Nicky Mohan incurs a second yellow, he's going to get a red. And Stoke City are reduced to 10 men. Can Stoke hang on now? 10 against 11. They're queuing up. And Johansson, within a minute of Mohan's dismissal, may well have taken Charlton through to the next round. Doesn't look as though he's going to smash it. Instead, he will square it for Gudjonsson. And his cross. Oh, it's in. And Gunnarsson may have put Stoke into the next round. Charlton still have to score a goal. It won't come from that pass, and if this ball is kept in, as it is, by Thordarson, Charlton might just have a spot of bother here. And Thordarson, what a fizzer! That's an unbelievable strike. I think even the referee's congratulating him. Can Charlton at least get a win on the night? No handball. There might be an opening here now. Lisby! It's 4-3 Charlton, and the tie's alive again. Stoke City are destined for the next round at the moment, unless Charlton can get a goal. Maybe here now. Lisby, who's on a hat-trick, is in there. It's up, straight up in the air. That's a horrible one for the keeper to deal with. Punches out, Brown over the top. Steve Brown in his testimonial season could have sent Charlton into the next round. And that may well be the last act of the night.
Looking back at it, it was a big signing for a smaller club, and you're expected to do well, and you're expected to play, you know, the games, you're expected to score the goals. So, you know, it's a little bit of an extra burden. But saying that, you know, I don't think I never really felt it here, because also the start went so well. I think that took away some of the pressure.
Seller, Hunt onto Johansson!
I never set a target, but of course I've always do that when I go on a pitch, I always want to score. That's my target, to score, you know, every game I play. Of course you can't do that, but you know, you get ups and downs during a season, and you get runs that you score, and you get runs that you're having a bit of trouble finding the target. So I don't really set myself any before the season, but I always said that as a striker, you know, I want to score in every game.
Johansson, and it's in! And Jonathan Johansson has done it again.
Curbs told me before season, you know, biggest problem is going to be I never played a full season really. I always had, you know, bits of games there and here and there, and now when I started getting into the games, and we were doing quite well in all season and in the beginning as well, and you know, it gave me the match fitness, and it gave me the more strength, and I think I progressed as a player really a lot this year.
October kicked off with a difficult trip to Elland Road, where Leeds United, acquitting themselves to life in the Champions League, were just too strong for Charlton. Alan Smith putting them ahead with a sharp finish. In the second half, Smith displayed his darker side with a reckless challenge on Raisetheroof that would eventually force Charlton centre-half to leave the field late in the game. Rufus struggled on manfully, but was powerless to stop Smith breaking clear again and crossing for Mark Viduka to double the lead. It seemed Charlton's luck was definitely out, as claims for a penalty were waved away when Gary Kelly's wild kick at substitute Charlie McDonald went unpunished. Charlton pressed hard to get back into the game, and this super strike from 20 yards by Klaus Jensen gave them hope. But Leeds were well worth their victory, and in the final seconds, Mark Viduka finished Charlton off with just about the final kick of the game. Middlesbrough were unbeaten away from home when they arrived at the Valley, but they were dealt a cruel blow when record signing Ugo Ekiog limped off after just 5 minutes of his debut. Brian Robson just couldn't plug the gap, and Charlton substitute Matt Svensson made the most of his introduction to the Premiership campaign.
Jensen over the set piece. Svensson! Charlton break through with a quarter of the game to go, and the comeback of Matthias Svensson is now complete. Broken arm forgotten, warm-hearted Charlton fans at his back now. Jensen's delivery was ideal, and for the first time this season, Matthias Svensson appeared at the back post and opened his tally for Charlton.
But then more gloom on their travels as Charlton's away form let them down once again, this time at a rain-lashed Villa Park. 2 poorly conceded goals sowed the seeds of defeat. First, Ian Taylor's header slid past the outstretched hand of Dean Kiley. And then Paul Merson arrived unmarked to extend the Villains' lead before half-time. To their credit, Charlton pressed forward, and in the second half were denied penalty claims on more than one occasion. They were at least given a helping hand when they did find the net, courtesy of Dion Dublin's outstretched left foot. It proved, however, to be just a consolation. Bradford manager Chris Hutchins needed results and fast, with his team 19th in the table. Stan Collymore was out with a bad wisdom tooth. Charlton inflicted more pain.
Away by Raisetheroof, so important for Charlton at the back. Powell. Robinson, turning away from Petrescu. Stewart's got clear through the inside right channel. It's Graham Stewart, Johansson, simple, goal for Charlton inside 5 minutes. And so neatly conceived. Jonathan Johansson had the easiest task of them all. Robinson's pass was a far-sighted one. Jensen's return was splendid. Graham Stewart got away from McCall, and Johansson merely had to turn it over the line. Sharp, incisive passing from Charlton, and the early goal they craved. Thumped away by Rufus. Gathered by Kinsella. Neat exchange of passes with Svensson. Kinsella again. Stewart. Svensson. Stewart. Graham Stewart. Oh, it's really well worked. What a smashing goal for Stewart and for Charlton. The sort of football those people love to pay to watch. The neatness, the tidiness of passing, the perception, the pace, and the finish. Bradford City just cannot deal with it. The skipper again, Kinsella. Jensen outwitted Lawrence. Powell coming in from the left side, and Powell into the box and into the side netting. What a turn-up it would be if he scored, and the smile etched on his face rather suggests he feels that way too. But he's enjoying his football right now, Chris Powell. Kinsella, and Powell is furthest forward again. It's Powell's cross, and Svensson had to score. The goal just gaped ahead of him, and well, you laugh or you cry. It's a good thing they're 2 up. Last few seconds now, and Graham Stewart seeing them out down by the corner flag. Stuart McCall's got in a little overzealously there, and he has been booked. He has never before been sent off in a long career, Stuart McCall, but he has now. A miserable day complete for Bradford City. Their talisman dismissed right at the end of it for that silly kick. Graham Stewart at the heart of a great day for Charlton, but for Bradford, a miserable afternoon, and the end perhaps for them.
Charlton's South African connection was then established with the signing of Mark Fish for £700,000. Fish, an excellent defender with a wealth of experience, couldn't, however, help Charlton break their poor run of results away from home. Of the 3 promoted sides, Ipswich had been the rank outsiders to survive in the Premier League. But the Tractor Boys were proving the experts wrong, and in a thoroughly absorbing game, Charlton were finally undone by 2 goals in the final 10 minutes. Matty Holland got the first, before they sealed their victory with a Route 1 goal, finished off by their top scorer, Marcus Stewart. Charlton's next test was a massive one. Chelsea's star-studded squad arrived with expectations of reversing their poor away form. Charlton were in no mood for charity.
Fish up high on his home debut, Jensen through. And again Klaus Jensen. That's a super ball for Johansson, who's away from Leboeuf. And De Hoy had to be swiftly off his line to smother, and Desai to clear. Super ball by Klaus Jensen. Johansson got goal side and stretched Ed De Hoy. By Zola. Poyet's ahead of him, Hasselbank's ahead of him, it's Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank! He strikes so early and so firmly, but Charlton's goal remains intact. This is Chris Powell from left-back for Charlton. Taken by Stewart and fed through for Johansson, who scores for Charlton! Simple but wonderfully effective. And the Valley is brought to its feet. Worth making a note of. Jonathan Johansson, away from the berth from Desai, and at full extension, prodding the ball behind Ed de Hoy. The berth's error was a poor one. Johansson's finish was spot on. Chelsea chasing the game now. Kinsella. Oh, error by Desai. Johansson's onto it, and Desai's retort is a crude one at best. Open to interpretation. Was he the last man? That is the decision that Paul Durkin will be weighing up now. Melchior is weighing in. The referee is having nothing to do with his argument. Red or yellow? It's only a booking. Johansson was getting the better of the World Cup winner. Flo for Zola. Chelsea still in arrears. Tore Andre Flo. Decent crack, good save by Kylie. How solid the Irish international goalkeeper remains. Corner last off Melchior. Won by Johansson. Last minute of the game. Charlton would be happy to let the clock elapse. They'd be happier still to earn themselves a 2-goal cushion and make it safe. Nearly there. Kinsella with the corner. Pringle! Points safe. Back in the side, back at the Valley, and scoring goals again for Charlton, Martin Pringle. Time to come down and join the party. Super sub on the day for his manager. Pringle rushed into the near post and got the diversion he desired. And in a game that means so much and spans the capital, Charlton have made chumps of Chelsea. It's Charlton's day across London town. A game that means so much to them. To beat the supposed kings of the King's Road. The impressive home run under Alan Kirbishley continues. Charlton 2, Chelsea 0.
The manager told us before it's a local derby, and for us to win, we have to be more aggressive and stronger and sharper in the tackles than Chelsea. And I think on the day we were it. So I think we worked the plan out quite well.
Since we got in the Premiership, you know, the response has been magnificent, which it has been the last 3 years. But we could have sold another 20,000 tickets easy today, which is going to make us a bigger club. So if we're successful this year and stay in there, then I think that's got to be our next part of our plan.
But then Fortress Valley was breached, even if it took a fantastic strike to do it. Sunderland's Alex Ray crashed the ball home from 25 yards, and that unbeaten home record was gone. Charlton had slipped to 12th by the end of November. No time to panic, but their next 3 fixtures were all against teams in the top 5.
I enjoyed the goal at Highbury against Arsenal. It put us briefly in front anyway, so we enjoyed that little bit. But the goal here against Bradford, I think I played a 1-2 with Sven, I think it was, and you know, managed to get myself in and stick it in the top corner. So it was a good goal.
Stewart, Graham Stewart. Oh, it's really well worked. What a smashing goal.
We had, high expectations of ourselves, but in all realism, I think the main thing for us was to just make sure we survived. But the first game against Manchester City, we just wanted to get out and have a good start, which we did. Good 4-0 comprehensive win, and it set the tone for the season, really.
It's 4!
I had 1 year at Everton where we finished 6th in the league and qualified for Europe, and that was as best I've ever done. But for Charlton to have achieved what we've achieved this season, ranks very highly among my best seasons in the game.
The first game in December and going to Anfield was always going to be tough. Effortlessly, the home side slipped into the lead inside 5 minutes. Christian Ziger's effort was on its way in before Mark Fisher's final touch. Two untidy clashes between Emil Heskey and Richard Rufus would have Alan Kirbishley bemoaning after the match that Heskey was lucky to stay on the field. Kirbishley certainly had a point. If the first shoulder charge had got the booking it deserved, the second wrestling throw would indeed have had the Reds seeing red. As it was, just the one yellow card meant Heskey was still on the pitch to inflict the damage he's better renowned for. And Liverpool were 2 goals to the good. And another 3-goal defeat on Merseyside was concluded as Marcus Babbel headed home in the 6-yard box. At Anfield, South African international striker Sean Bartlett had made a brief debut as a substitute. Bartlett, signed on loan from FC Zurich, was about to make a huge impact on his home debut against table-topping Manchester United. The match was breathtaking, simply awesome.
Klaus Jensen pointing to where he wanted it, and he's got it. And now Jensen has put Powell in. And Powell's cross! Oh, a spectacular save! Johansson's header pushed away by Raymond van der Houw. And Charlton so very nearly made a flying start. Powell up towards Johansson. And here is the spin again. Johansson's cross! Bartlett! Oh, it's somehow stayed out. So close. But Charlton are rattling the champions in the opening stages of this game. And it was nearly a dreamful debut for Sean Bartlett. And the Valley would have erupted had that one sneaked in off the post. Yet, somehow it didn't. Kishishev back to Johansson. Wes Brown in the way. Alan Kirbishley's excellent efforts at Charlton over the years haven't gone unnoticed. He's been linked with a job in the England setup, maybe as under-21 coach. Now, Stewart's cross, and it's in this time from Bartlett. He has done it. Charlton are really giving it a go against the champions. And dreams do come true, because Sean Bartlett has scored on his full debut against the team of his dreams too, his boyhood idols, Manchester United. Graham Stewart, the provider. And Manchester United find themselves a goal behind. Bartlett, an instant hero. By Roy Keane. David Beckham's in a bit of space. He's going to have a go, surely, when it was blocked by Fish, but they were inviting him to have a blast. Now, though, there's no flag, and Johansson is away! Jonathan Johansson! Oh! Just wide. Oh, dear, it could have been 2-0 to Charlton. Solskjaer's going to latch onto this. Giggs is arriving in the middle. And here he is. Ryan Giggs! Oh, yes! Giggs plants it firmly in the corner. Panic over for Manchester United, but were they really panicking? It's 1-1. And another fine finish from Giggs. He only needed the slightest glimpse of goal. Steered it past Kylie. We are all square at the Valley, and he's the reason why. And Giggs now has seen Kylie off his line, he's gone for it! Oh, it hit the bar, but Solskjaer puts the rebound in! Absolutely unbelievable! Totally incredible! Wow! No wonder he's smiling, no wonder they're smiling. Well, well. Remember David Beckham at Wimbledon? Ryan Giggs. Well, that so nearly went in itself, but Solskjaer was banking on any rebound. Quite extraordinary. Manchester United have turned it round in a matter of seconds. Ryan Giggs nearly scored his second. But what a wonderful try. Now Giggs could be away here. Solskjaer moving in towards the near post. Still Giggs. Roy Keane. Oh, it's gone in. Kylie couldn't keep it out. And Roy Keane finally has his first goal of the season. And Manchester United seem to be heading towards a 9th win on the spin in the Premiership. John Robinson, a popular figure here, young serving player, comes on for John Salako. Robinson has missed the last 3 games with a groin injury. A fiery competitor. He'll put himself in and about Manchester United. Robinson on, Salako off. Silvestre. Manchester United have only lost 2 of their last 42 Premiership matches. It says so much, that statistic. Ryan Giggs. Giggs on the rampage. Kept out by Kylie, but Giggs... Oh! Came back off the post, I think, and Teddy Sheringham couldn't quite turn it in. But Ryan Giggs has been in the mood today. Almost impossible to contend with when he's in that sort of mood. And Teddy Sheringham couldn't quite screw it back in as it cannoned off the outside of the post. Kishashev, who's about to be replaced. But that's a fine cross from him, and it's in from Bartlett. He's got his second of the game, and Charlton have set up a rousing finale at the Valley. They just refuse to lay down. Sean Bartlett, an instant hit at the Valley. It's Charlton 2, Manchester United 3. The ball's going to have to go back. Stephen Lodge ordering the United players to go back a little bit. I have to say, it doesn't look terribly much like 10 yards of that. Well, they're moving forward now. And there's a lot of tangling and a lot of grappling in the wall. There's no way that's gone back far enough, I don't think. I think edging forward. The delay merely adds to the tension at the Valley. Klaus Jensen tries again! Amazing save from Raymond van der Hauw. It was heading for the roof of the net, surely, from Jensen. And van der Hauw got his fingertips to it. A fantastic finish to a quite extraordinary game. Jensen's corner. Kinsella. And it's in! Robinson! John Robinson scores! What a comeback from Charlton! The Valley erupts! Sir Alex Ferguson can barely believe it, but to be honest, not many can believe it. This has been a wonderful game, a captivating contest. Robinson turned, Robinson scored, and it's Charlton 3, Manchester United 3 in one of the games of the season in the Premiership. Robinson has certainly made an impact after coming on as a sub. Jensen sends it in, but it's fisted away by Van der Hal. Referee is looking at his watch. Charlton haven't got much time to get it back in the box. They've got no time, but it's a great shame that this game has come to an end because it really was some match. Sir Alex might not think so though. His team were 3-1 up and coasting it, but they took off David Beckham and Roy Keane, made changes, and Charlton fought back and how to grab a point.
I thought that Charlton, particularly in the first 20 minutes of the match, provided a lot of threat to our defending, and they could have been 3 up in the first 20 minutes. Once we settled to a game, we did okay, and attacking wise, they were very good. But at 3-1, you have to think that our side shouldn't lose that kind of lead, but they did.
Sean, as full debuts go, not too bad, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was a dream start for me. I never thought I'd also score 2 goals against Man U, but I was actually quite happy just with one. So I think the second one is a bonus.
Obviously, to score against Manchester United is particularly special for you, having supported them.
Yeah, growing up, I think in South Africa, everybody supports Man U, and I think it was just a special day for me.
Sean has been with us only a week now, and we can't do too much work with him, but we've done a lot of work on the team this week, and I don't think he thought he was playing till yesterday morning, and I put him in a side, but he's good in the air, and we got some crosses in there, but no, he's come in, he's done well for us, and hopefully he can carry on.
On a 3-month loan initially, but possibly a permanent move at the end of it?
Yeah, I said before that I was just going to come here, impress, score goals, and obviously try and secure a permanent contract, and I think today should certainly help a little bit.
It was a quite extraordinary game to watch. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, I think the only thing I probably have to get used to is the pace of the game, but I think it was, like you said, extraordinary game, and we really played well today.
You look a bit shell-shocked by the way that game finished.
No, I'm not shell-shocked at all. I think that in the nature of football, nothing surprises you, that you've got to earn the right to win matches, and I felt that Charlton earned the right to get a result today. They fought really hard and they played very well.
Frustratingly, the feel-good factor of the Manchester United epic failed to rub off the following week. Once again, Charlton were beaten away from the Valley. Things seemed on the up when the Addicks went ahead with a cleverly worked goal from Jonathan Johansson. Charlton completely dominated the opening stages. But their failure to convert other chances allowed Leicester back into the game. And Adi Akinbaye swept the home side level before half-time. In the second half, Leicester claimed increasing amounts of pressure, and they took the lead in trademark fashion as Matt Elliott headed home unchallenged from a corner. And worse was to follow when a defensive mix-up allowed Arne Gunnlaugsson a free run at goal. Charlton once again returned home, knowing the scoreline had failed to reflect the performance. 4 games without a win, 3 points was vital against Everton. Charlton got them, but not without a scare at the end.
Rufus heaving it clear and inviting Myra to come and make a panicky clearance. Johansson's got a chance. Oh, that is a wonderfully improvised save from Jonathan Johansson by Michael Ball within yards of the Everton line. Myra did what he had to do, but found himself horribly exposed, and Michael Ball came to the rescue. Jensen then with the corner. Aimed in towards Svensson, who scores for Charlton! The pressure has paid, and Matthias Svensson with a vigorous downward header has established a lead at the Valley. Jensen with outswing, and Svensson with downward power. Alexanderson on the line was helpless. Perfect corner, ideal outcome. Another corner for Klaus Jensen. Rufus getting in there, and Myra scrambling it away. Richard Rufus this time on the end of a Klaus Jensen corner. Already one such has brought the Charlton goal. Check the watch for what must be a contented Charlton manager. Forward by Kinsella. Johansson battling for it. Myra has come. Flag is up. Johansson slides it in, but when he gets to his feet, he will be dismayed to see that it'll count for nothing. And there's the reason why. Hit long towards Unsworth. And Tal! Oh, he's hit the post! And Kishishev lashes it up into the air. A real scare this for Charlton. They've conceded plenty of possession in the second half and were close to conceding a couple of points there. It's all over. It will be a happy Christmas at the Valley. All 3 points for Alan Kirbishley and co, courtesy of Matthias Svensson's first half header. Home for a happy party season.
Great corner from Klaus Jensen, and I just went in. It's a big hole we open up. They would drag players out of there, and they didn't really have anyone in there, and just open it up superb for me.
When you see a ball like that arching towards you, do you somehow know that it's going to go in?
It's always a few more players and goalkeepers to beat, but when you know you got your head to it, you know if it's going to go in or not.
But on Boxing Day, Charlton received 5 knockout blows from West Ham. Their away record was in a critical condition as the towel was thrown in at Upton Park. Prompted by Trevor Sinclair and a vibrant midfield, Paolo Di Canio and Frederic Canute cut through the Charlton defence at will. And the match was over as a contest before half-time. Frank Lampard added West Ham's 3rd goal just before the interval. Alan Kirbishley had clearly read the riot act in the dressing room, and the second half became a damage limitation exercise. It worked for a while, but the Hammers would not be denied. Trevor Sinclair's spectacular volley made it 4-0. Mark Kinsella was struggling, and news followed the skipper would require knee surgery. He'd be out for 6 weeks. Charlton's biggest defeat of the season was rounded off by Canute.
I've been here 10 years, and I don't think I've ever seen a Charlton side perform like that in the first 45 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen us train like that in the first 45 minutes. And obviously, I just hope it's a one-off.
Charlton, ever wary of being sucked into the relegation zone, changed both shape and personnel at Manchester City. They were stuck in the bottom 3. It was not a day for faint hearts.
Jensen will take the corner. Rufus flies in. Howie in trouble. Johansson! Charlton lead. And they deserve to be ahead. Jonathan Johansson's 11th of the season. A messy goal as far as Manchester City are concerned. Didn't really clear the corner, and the away fans can celebrate here. Just before the half hour, Rufus caused the initial panic, and then Howie had the ball stuck beneath his feet, and Johansson put it in. He's such a predator inside that 6-yard box. Tiato, a mistake from him, and he was rather fortunate. The ball cannoned back to a colleague and not to a Charlton player. Plenty of time here for Nicky Weaver. But that's a really poor clearance, and here's Kishishev charging through for Charlton. Johansson's unmarked, must be 2-0, and it is. A goal all of Manchester City's own making, but really unselfish play from Kishishev, the fullback, who could have got himself and instead he put it on a plate for his centre forward. Poor clearance from Weaver, but excellent anticipation from Kishishev, who looked up, and all the time in the world for Johansson to slide it in. And it all came from Weaver's poor clearance. Tiato. Holland had a flick at it. Sean Wright-Phillips trying to make something out of nothing, but instead it's Scott Parker for Charlton. He's got acres of space. They've got 3 against 1 here, Charlton. A bit wide for Bartlett. 2 in the middle though. Stewart can't get it. Johansson! Golden chance for the hat-trick. He missed one at the end of the first half. That was possibly an even easier opportunity. Squared by Bartlett. Behind Stewart. Plenty of time, but he got right underneath the shot. The Addicts really are playing all the football here. Robinson, the substitute. Pringle. Oh, that's a neat one too, and Robinson's in here. And is that a penalty? Yes, it is. Clive Wilkes pointed to the spot straight away. But it was Steve Howie who went in with the challenge. He's protesting his innocence. But Clive Wilkes was quite well placed, and he had no doubt. Slow motion may give us a better clue as Robinson went through. Howie came across. Very slight contact, but it was enough for the referee. So a great chance now for 3-0. We've only got 11 minutes left for play, and this would certainly secure all 3 points for Charlton Athletic. It's Graham Stewart against Nicky Weaver. Absolutely no problem. Goalkeeper sent the wrong way. And that puts the seal on a terrific display from the away team. Very confidently taken spot kick. And there is now no way back, surely, for Manchester City. And clearly their fans believe that because they've seen enough. And they're heading for the exits. Another nice ball, here's Jensen. And it's coming back off him, and it's in! Weaver was off his line. It's a freak goal, but it's 4 for Charlton. Klaus Jensen, well, he deserves to get on the score sheet for his industry and his work rate. No wonder he's smiling. He can't believe his luck. It cannoned back from the defender's clearance, and Weaver didn't have a prayer. Just a minute from time. What a great trip for the away fans. I can't believe it. 4-0. And Kirbishley really coming of age as a Premiership manager now. Kishishev's clearance didn't go very far. Here's Huckabee. And that is the penalty to Manchester City. In injury time, the challenge by Kishishev on the debut boy, Darren Huckabee. Well, once again, not too much contact. So Dean Kiley has to face Huckabee himself. Well, comprehensively taken. 4-1 it is. But it won't take too much of the gloss off Charlton's afternoon.
In the end, I made 5 changes from the game at West Ham Boxing Day, and they responded, and we got the result, and that's all that matters.
We all knew it was a very important game for us as well, because we've lost 6 games on the spin away from home. So it was a massive game for us today, and I think you could see that determination from the players today. And luckily, in the end, we got a deserved win, I thought.
Pride restored, next Arsenal arrived at the Valley. Charlton hadn't beaten them for 45 years, but records are there to be broken. Seaman, Adams, Bergkamp and Henry were absent, but Charlton had their injury problems too. It was another memorable day.
Parker, nicely delivered to the feet of Bartlett. Kishishev. Came off Grimondi's head, Stewart. And headed in by the man in full, Jonathan Johansson. We've seen very little of Charlton as an attacking force, but here they are, some 6 minutes before half-time, leading Arsenal Well, Kishishev tossed it in. Grimondi's attempt to head clear wasn't decisive. Back by Stewart. And Johansson really made that header his. When Arsenal will feel they were caught short at the back. They had numbers in there. It's number 13 of the season for Jonathan Johansson. 10 of them in the Premiership. And that's a very good tally since he's come south from Scotland. Oh, Andy Todd, close to making it number 2. Well, Charlton regard this as something of a bonus occasion. They've got 6 points already from the holiday period, which is what they were hoping for. And there might well be more in the offing. Jensen. Bartlett! Saved by Manninger. Arsenal could so easily have gone 2 adrift already in this second half. Kanu does well, but how deep he was to come back and help Arsenal trying to stem the flow. Bartlett round the back. And Alex Manninger to stay big here to keep out the header. Kishishev. Parker. Jensen couldn't make a forward run, or wouldn't make a forward run, I'm not quite sure which. Going forward here though is Johansson. For Bartlett, wonderful chance! He just didn't connect. But Arsenal, without the influence of Adams, without Martin Keown, are looking a softer touch at the back than you have to say for many a year. Well, it looked a formality for Sean Bartlett, the scorer of 2 goals here against Manchester United, and it looked as though he was a certain scorer here against Arsenal as well. It just ran away from him. Maltz having a look to see what's on in the centre, decided not just to toss the ball in. Vivas fires it in, Vieira. And here's a Thomas brought down. It's a penalty for Arsenal. Well, Charlton protest, 15 minutes to go, but Graham Poll has made up his mind. It was a Mark Fish. Well, Thierry Henry has been Arsenal's penalty taker, but he is not in the team today. And I will be surprised if Dean Kiley has a volume of information about the penalty-taking attributes of Nelson Vivas, who shoulders the burden here for Arsenal. What an important penalty. And Kiley has kept it out! To general acclaim from Charlton Athletic. Great save, but a great waste from Arsenal's point of view. Certainly not Viva Vivas. Pringle just needs to keep it in this part of the pitch for Charlton. Oh, well, that's rash from the man who has missed the best chance for Charlton. That's the final act of the game. It was won for Charlton by Jonathan Johansson. His goal late in the first half, a far post header, sort of goal that you wouldn't expect Arsenal at full strength to concede. And the victory protected by Dean Kiley's splendid penalty save from Nelson Vivas. Celebrations for Charlton, but Arsenal have lost again away from home. And now it's not so much a case of chasing Manchester United, it's can they hang on to second spot as Arsene Wenger heads for the dressing room. A beaten manager. Charlton take their bows. Their home record continues to be splendid. Another victory at the Valley. Charlton 1, Arsenal 0.
been here 18 months and not got near a penalty. So that was the first one I've saved for Charlton, so it's very pleasing.
At a crucial time.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, with us being 1-0 up, they were getting at us and throwing everything at us, and we withstood it really well. When the penalty went against us, you fear the worst, but it went our way today. I'm very pleased with it.
Whenever we've had a setback, we've managed to bounce back somehow. It may be a draw, maybe a win, but we've managed to bounce back. That was something we couldn't do 2 years ago. We felt that, for us to be successful this year, we would have to do that.
The manager also let you all stay at home last night instead of going to a hotel. That's a bit risky on New Year's Eve, but obviously everyone behaved themselves.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I think we have quite a nice team. No bad boys here, really, so everybody behaved.
So Charlton finished New Year's Day in 8th place on 31 points. Their 9-point haul over Christmas and the New Year, leaving them just 9 points from the magic 40 and perceived safety.
Because I sort of possess a fairly loud voice and do tend to want to get involved on the side of the pitch and probably coach from the side of the pitch. Alan likes to sort of be fairly analytical, and he sort of sits with Keith upstairs, probably on a more cerebral basis, if you like, and doesn't get involved too emotionally in the game until possibly sort of midway through the second half. It's left to me to rant and rave, point fingers and try and kick 1 or 2 people up the backside if they need it. A large amount of credit has got to go to obviously the supporters, because right from minute 1 it's been high tempo stuff on the pitch, and by and large it's been high tempo stuff in the stands. They've really sort of made it a tough place for people to come. And I think in our little after-match chats with the opposition manager and coaches, etc., it always gets mentioned that the atmosphere and the intensity, if you like, of the atmosphere is something which I don't think many teams actually enjoy. Obviously, if it's your home fans, all the better for you.
The valley erupts!
With the new stand going up, and I think there's another 6,000 people going to be ensconced in it, it's going to make it a really, really lively atmosphere. And obviously, from our point of view, anything which creates even more noise, even more tension, even more excitement has got to be good for us, because, as I said earlier, the home record really is a testimony to the way the fans have supported us. And if we can get another 6,000 Charlton fans in here next year, hopefully it will be at least as good.
A break from the league and an embarrassing FA Cup exit against Dagenham and Redbridge was only just avoided thanks to a late equaliser. No one would have begrudged the conference side victory following Junior McDougall's first half header. A freak training ground accident denied Charlton the services of top scorer Jonathan Johansson, who required knee surgery and 5 weeks recuperation. It was left to John Salako to save Charlton's blushes and thankfully get a second chance in Essex. Another draw, but this time a far more creditable one at the Dell. Charlton had their chances in a match that failed to liven up a gloomy afternoon. Pride of place went to Dean Kiley, who pulled off a couple of excellent saves to keep his goal intact. Matthew Oakley denied here by Kiley's fingertips and the crossbar. And just when it seemed Charlton's defence might succumb to Southampton's pressure near the end, Kiley pulled off an even better save, once again from Oakley. The Republic of Ireland international saw this one late, but somehow managed to claw the ball away. An interested spectator for the return match against West Ham was New England manager Sven-Göran Eriksson. On the score sheet, though, an Italian and a South African.
Union tried to attack the ball, but the challenge was even better on him. There's Konchesky. Referee getting in the way. Konchesky with the through ball. Chance here! It's a wonderful start. Bartlett gives Charlton an early lead.
Well, just the start that Charlton wanted. I think Mr. Gallagher, the referee, played a part in it. It's a lovely little ball down the side of Tahinen onto Bartlett's right foot. who calmly slots the ball past Forrest into the corner of the net.
Joko, return ball from Di Canio. Canute's there too. And Di Canio again, chance here. Brilliant! Superb equalising goal by who else? Paolo Di Canio.
Back in the cup, and the replay at Dagenham was played on a bog of a pitch, and it went to extra time. The nation was rooting for a shock, but Alan Kirbishley rallied his troops and got the desired result within a minute of the restart. John Salako made space for a cross down the left wing. Sean Newton squeezed the ball home from the tightest of angles. Relief for the Addicts and a fourth-round tie with Tottenham. It was Dagenham, though, who claimed the plaudits and a richly deserved lap of honour. Having struggled for 3 hours against Dagenham, Charlton then tore into Derby 3 days later. But this was another match with a few twists along the way.
Benson has come all the way across to take this one again. Good ball in again, and it's there! Svensson with the goal. Well, it's been non-stop Charlton pressure in the opening minutes, and with just 8 played, they take a fully deserved lead. Jensen putting it into the mix. A wicked deflection. Kishishev. Out by Mawani. Charlton got possession back though. This is Scott Parker. Parker's effort. Coombe with an acrobatic block. Well, they're peppering the Derby goal. Chris Powell, it's relentless. Another good effort and another fantastic save. Klaus Jensen has done everything but score himself. It's becoming a personal battle between the Dane and the Estonian. This was Parker, who brought the first good save in quick succession from Poom. Alan Kirbishley must be delighted with the way his side are playing. Free kick pretty central. Burley and Carbonari tee the ball up. Steve Kiley sorts out his defensive wall. Burley's taken it early! And Kiley completely stranded. A wonderful bit of vision from Craig Burley. It's the first real opportunity that Derby County have had, and it was Charlton's making. Strange one from Mark Fish. Kiley's come a long way. It's a sickening collision, and more than that, it's a Derby penalty. Malcolm Christie is the player who's gone down. It's a yellow card for Dean Kiley. Telling the referee he was going for the ball. I think he was, but he missed it completely and caught Christie full on. Well, incredibly, completely against the run of play, a chance for Derby to take the lead. Craig Burley has already scored from a free kick. Kiley saves his spot kick. Well, he had to wait a long time after conceding the penalty, the goalkeeper, but he kept his nerve. That's a wonderful save at full stretch. Kiley requires some attention. He was hurt in the incident that led to the penalty, and then I think he aggravated the problem in making the save. Charlton Athletic debut for Tony Cade. Ready to start the second half as replacement for the injured Dean Kiley. Derby break on the counter-attack. Only temporarily. Fischer-Chef atones for his earlier error. He's off on the overlap. Instead, it's Parker in field, and having another go. That one not so close to the goalkeeper. Very close to going the other side of the post, though. Crisply struck. Just a three-man wall. It's left for Burley. Comfortably dealt with. Now Charlton try and break away. It's Klaus Jensen. Darryl Powell getting towards him. Jensen's past him. Could be two. Parker. It is 2-1. From one end of the field to the other. They have their lead back, and it's fully deserved. They have completely dominated Derby County. And ironically, it's from a Derby free kick that Klaus Jensen breaks away to create the chance. Deserved a goal himself. He's left Powell behind, stepped inside the next defender. Parker should get credit too for the way he's gone stride for stride in his support for Jensen. Good block by Poom. Cool finish by Parker. 2-1. Burley. Once more, Craig Burley. Not too much to aim for. He goes for goal. Somehow Cade kept it out. Not sure how much Tony Cade knew about that save, but the important thing was he got something behind the ball. It took a wicked kick off the pitch. Bounced up into the keeper's face.
When you picked the ball up, it was deep in your own half. You kept looking across to see who was inside you. When did you make up your mind that, well, I'm going to keep running it and see how far I get?
Yeah, as you said, I kept looking for Scotty, and in the end I thought, no, I'll try to go on my own, but luckily Scotty was there in the end, wasn't he? And great to see him run all the way up there and finish it off so we could win the game. Yeah.
The points are vital, and you know, to play so well, and you know, was hanging on a little bit near the end there, but we've got the points, and it was a great performance and a great result, and you know, we're looking upwards now.
Next season, as a player, we've got to be aiming for UEFA Cup. I don't see why we can't go that extra step on the ladder. I think that we've done remarkably well this year, and next year we've got to go for greater heights. As a club level, I think that the support has got to get behind us. I think next year we've got to aim for that 40, 45 mark, whatever mark it is, just to stay up, and then obviously build on it from there. I mean, if we can reach 40, 45 points come beginning of December, will be even better. But I think the main aim is obviously, once again, just to stabilise the club and the team in the Premiership, and then build on from there. But as a player, and I'm sure the rest of the teammates will be behind me in saying that, you know, why not go for UEFA Cup next season? There will always be a South African connection. Sean's always going off to play for the national team. He comes back, he's got stories to tell me. And yeah, I think that having two South Africans at Charlton, where before you had Roy Matthews, which was my first coach, and Eddie Famani playing here, there aren't many South Africans playing in the English Premiership, but there's certainly quite a big influx at the moment, with certain players playing at Leeds United and at Man United. But having Sean here is wonderful, and hopefully he can continue, you know, hopefully he signs a contract and he can continue his performances that he's had this year at Charlton next season, and maybe he's hopefully an important ingredient into the team that gets us into Europe next year. What I've seen of Richard this whole season, he's been in superb form. I think he's got better and better as I've seen him, and he's a great player. He deserves everything he's got. He's a quiet man. He keeps to himself in the change rooms and off the field, but he's been immaculate on the pitch, and you know, to get the Player of the Year from the supporters again, I wouldn't think, and I couldn't think of anyone else that deserves it more than him.
Sasa Ilic took over in goal at Tottenham as Dean Kiley's season had come to a premature end. Sasa kept a clean sheet, and Charlton should have won the match. Their best opening fell to Sean Bartlett after Campbell and Perry got in a tangle. Sullivan saved well. Jensen, following up, couldn't keep his shot down. The chance was gone. But against the same opposition in the FA Cup 4 days later, Charlton were really left kicking themselves after a dramatic night.
Header on by Svensson. This is Bartlett. Svensson under pressure. Powell arriving in the penalty area. Is it really Chris Powell? His first goal for Charlton Athletic. It's come from the most unexpected of source. Tottenham Hotspur, who hadn't conceded a goal coming into tonight's match in more than 8 hours of football, have conceded one to Chris Powell of all people. Rebrov outnumbered. Campbell only as far as Rufus, who was held back there by Freund. Advantage played. This is Bartlett, and Stewart couldn't take it in stride. Svensson! 3 minutes of the second half gone, and clear daylight for Charlton Athletic. Matt Svensson has made it 2-0. Doherty, short of support. He's held it up well by Gary Doherty. Taken on Andy Todd. Good run by Doherty, and it's gone in, an own goal. Richard Rufus turned it past his own keeper, and Tottenham Hotspur are back in business. Plenty going on in the wall. It's Anderton. Oh, it's squeezed in! Spurs level! Sasa Ilic couldn't keep it out. And here's Leonardson. They've got another! Sensational turnaround here! Well, they talk about the superstition and the year of the one, and you begin to wonder, is he going to be Tottenham again? 3 goals in no time. Here's Young. Now Doherty. And Rebrov is onside, and Rebrov has made it 4 for Tottenham.
We didn't do the professional thing, you know, ride it out, dig in, all them horrible things that you ain't supposed to do, and we didn't do it. And suddenly it was 2-2, and 30 seconds after that it was 3-2, and that should never happen. It was our kick-off, and Spurs have scored straight from it. So if we've learnt anything, I think it's that we perhaps took a liberty tonight and at 2-0 and paid dearly for it.
A special presentation was made before the Newcastle match to commemorate Alan Kirbishley's 500 games in charge of Charlton. The milestone was actually reached away at Dagenham. In the crowd again was Mr. Eriksson, who would name his first England squad for the friendly with Spain a few days later.
Jensen. Over Stuart. Bartlett touched onto the post by Gibbon. Bartlett came in behind Svensson with a really solid header.
Free kick's been given, but 2 poor headers earlier, Mark, but this is a stunning header and a fantastic save from Shea Gibbon. It's not really a chance. He's had to go back to fetch this from low down. Look, he's backing away from goal. And it takes a combination of the fingertips of Gibbon and the frame of the goal to keep Charlton out. But what a header.
Jensen. Slip back to him by Kishishev. Jensen again. It's an easy ball on here for Powell. Oh, Bartlett. Svensson, can he keep it down? He can. He finds the corner. It's come from across, and Charlton lead Newcastle 1-0.
Well, it's a great goal and a wonderful build-up. But I talked at the top of the show, Martin, about Solano. You don't give him defensive duties. He lost out in a very poor challenge there with Jensen, and from there was danger. It's an absolutely glorious tuck back from Bartlett. Not looking for goal here. He assesses the difficulty, sees his strike partner, who really did take his time. That's when you know all about it. You know you've got a bit of time. You know you can wait for it. My goodness, he tucked it away beautifully.
Svensson. Now Kishishev.
Handball, I think he's given.
On goes Stewart. Well, Paul Durkin's given the goal for Bartlett. And Newcastle are surrounding the referee. The flag certainly went up.
I thought it not for handball, Martin. I think that's what Paul Durkin did. He's played, I think, and I might be wrong, I think he's played a great advantage He's going to go over and consult with the linesman. Might well have a word, and I think we'll find that he gave the flag went up for a handball against the Newcastle player. It dropped to a Charlton player. He waved play on. I think if that is what happened, the goal will stand.
Well, Graham Atkins has gone to talk to the Newcastle bench to explain to Mick Wadsworth, who questioned it and got the same answer that I think you've given the nation of it.
There's a ball just played round the corner here. This one here. It's that one. We don't quite see it. But that was when. We don't see it in that one, Martin. It's not that first ball. It's this one here. There. The flag goes up now. That was what the flag. But look how quickly the referee says it. You have to say absolutely top marks to the referee for seeing that, for spotting that, for letting it go.
And top marks to Sean Bartlett, who has now made one and scored one.
The second goal of the afternoon is number 37, Sean Bartlett.
Parker. Kishishev. Svensson. Parker's made it his. Wasn't the best return ball. Oh, it falls for Svensson. Well, that could have come out to Bartlett or Stewart, who were in there, and maybe Gibbons earned a bit of luck there that he parried it into Newcastle's park.
Well, that's when hard work gets its rewards, Martin, because that's what Scott Parker earned. He earned the right to get this ball dropped for one of his mates, because he won his way through a couple of big tackles. It dropped beautifully for Svensson. I can't fault what he did. Hard and low across the goalkeeper. This is an excellent save. And he got a little bit of luck. Dropped to one of his own.
Quick. Speed for Lee. Solano goes to the right. Gallagher through the centre. Amiobi is there. He took that nicely on the half-turn. Solano. Amiobi. Space for a shot himself, and
what a save. Oh, what a touch. Little piece of magic from Amiobi. Great feet. You watch how quickly he shifts it from one to the other. There it goes. Great. What a save that is from Illich. Must have seen it late.
The build-up to the Coventry game was dominated by the news that Chris Powell had been selected for Sven-Göran Eriksson's England squad. 31, he would be Charlton's first England representative since Mike Bailey in 1964.
This is Gary Breen. And Hartson very briefly into the play. Not a bad strike! And the opening goal, because he couldn't hold on to the ball. Scored by Craig Bellamy. Barry Krim with the initial shot, but Illich could only parry, and it proved to be costly. Calmly done by Powell. Shaw. Todd has come to the near side of the 6-yard box. Johansson in front of the goalkeeper. Not quite sure how that was cleared. Hedman didn't know much about it, doesn't know much about it then. Hit the crossbar, blocked, and then in. Final touch from Richard Rufus. What a mess for Coventry City. Nobody took control there whatsoever. Embarrassing defending, and one has to say, not particularly good goalkeeping. Quite a lot of curl. Didn't really get hold of the ball then when he could have come to claim it with two hands. Now he changes his mind. Brilliant overhead effort. Then Svensson, finally Rufus right on the goal line. Kinsella just, Johansson rather, just unable to get Jensen in. Forward by Kishishev. Here's Johansson! Charlton supporters applaud the goal. Their team already have 40 points. And they're making inroads to finishing the afternoon with 43. It was nicely worked, and Johansson appeal for offside by Marcus Hall, which was unreal. Jensen started the move on by Kishishev, and there were three stationary defenders and one moving forward. Stewart! Really good strike. He's won a corner. And rightly so. It was a very good save by Magnus Hedman. Good play by Kinsella. Being well served by senior players. Charlton. Quinn. Ball back by Johansson at the moment. Marcus Hall. And Hudson! Well, one of the softest shots of his career, but it was enough. 2-2 and the atmosphere changes at Highfield Road. Jensen. Powell. Picked out Todd. Todd could have had a shot and declined it. And here's Johansson! Well, he could have ended it surely. Good play by Charlton, all the control play that we've seen for the greater part of the match. Nicely forward. Flag was down and rightly.
The end of February and the 40-point target had been reached. Securing 8th place, whisper it quietly, but some pundits were even mentioning Europe.
Chris Powell, Charlton and England. How does that sound, Chris?
Well, I never thought I would ever hear it, but it feels good, it sounds good, and you know, to represent my country and play for Charlton is you know, just the ultimate experience, really. And you know, I'm really proud and honoured that after 36 years, I'm the next England player that plays for Charlton. When I walked out with a little Spanish girl, and I lined up with the team, and I looked up and I thought, this is it, you know, this is for real. And you see all the flags and the euphoria of all the fans. You know, you realise, you know, the nation are watching. I still didn't know until Steve McLaren came up to me and said, right, tonight you're marking Mendieta. And I started laughing, you know. And I thought, right, I'm playing.
And he certainly knew he was when Mendieta arrived in the box inside the first 10 seconds of the game.
I was hoping he didn't shove me and the referee didn't blow up, and I sort of, you know, towed it past David James for an own goal in the first, you know, 10 seconds. No, you know, I basically just felt, you know, he's there and he's going to be on at me all the time, but I'm going to try and take him the other way as well. I was just determined to take the player on and just hope that, you know, I could make it to the byline and, you know, set up a goal in my England debut, or, you know, just get a decent cross in, and, you know, I managed to do that a few times.
Tony! Confidence supplied by Alan Kirbishley, whose phone call before the match instructed Powell to play his normal game. The same manager who 2 months earlier had dropped him.
I rested Chris for 5 or 6 games and then brought him back, and he came back refreshed and also with a bit of competition. And he came back and he's applied himself since. I think it done him a favour.
I was determined when I got back in that I didn't want that to happen again. You know, I needed to get playing really well, and it just happens that I did, and it culminated in the call-up. You know, it was only 5 games, and I'm here sitting talking about playing for England. It's been an absolute crazy month, February, and the last 7 days have just been the craziest 7 days of my footballing career. People were saying this could be a one-cap wonder, and I was really determined just to make sure that that wasn't going to happen. And I knew Mr. Eriksson was manager of Lazio, and he's here talking to me. It was a bit odd, I've got to say, but I got used to it in the end. I got used to the idea of Mr. Eriksson being my boss for 3 days.
Into March, and Charlton's away form was still much improved. Johansson and Kinsella were regaining match fitness, having been reintroduced to the squad in February. And this was another match that could have been won. Johansson going close from Kishishev's cross. Terry Venables tried to get more out of his team, but Charlton definitely created the better openings. Johansson skipping clear down the right, crossed for Bartlett, but he couldn't keep his effort down before crash landing in the snow, goalless at the Riverside. Entertaining the England manager was becoming commonplace at the Valley, but against Leeds he had to take his seat early in both halves.
Raisetheroof then to take this free kick. Jonathan Johansson up there, watched by Dominic Matteo. Out comes Nigel Martyn, he's well off his line and he hasn't got there. And Sean Bartlett has, and it's 1-1. Well, Nigel Martyn came miles off his line and was nowhere near it. And instead, the South African was. Powell. Inside to Robinson. Now Jensen. He's got Johansson outside him. And over to the far post. Back inside to Bartlett. Parker has his shot blocked. This is David Batty for Leeds. Setting up Harry Kewell on the counter-attack. Who's got great pace and is going right down the middle. And here's Alan Smith. It's 2-1. And for the second time in a game, Charlton have let in a goal within a minute of the kickoff.
Things improved against Leicester, and a packed crowd plus a live TV audience were rewarded with one of the best moments ever seen on the hallowed turf. The goal of the season.
Top. Bartlett bounced up awkwardly, but he cushioned it well on the chest. Kishishek. Jensen, nothing wide on the left at the moment. And Jensen goes for goal, and well, Royce had given it up. He knew that any severe dip then, and it was 1-0 to Charlton. It didn't quite dip enough for Klaus Jensen.
It was trying, Mark. No, it was trying. Not enough pressure in the midfield here. They stand off him. They don't really get tight. They actually make up his mind. Have a goal, because no one gets really near enough to him quick enough. You can see it start to drop, start to dip. Wonderful effort.
Soaking up pressure is very much Leicester's stock in trade. Charlton setting out the agenda here, but not yet breaking through, not yet beating Simon Royce. Jensen with the corner. Oh, Bartlett! And in the end, it's put in by Andy Todd.
Well, I just wonder what kind of factor Martin Jerry Taggart going off the field for the corner proved to be. Normally, you don't get a goal, you don't get a free header against Leicester City in this sort of situation. But the run in there was an excellent one, and full mark. The Todd on the prowl, just waiting to knock it in. But really, I think Jerry Taggart's absence was really a major contributor here, and the very poor marking.
Here's Kishishek. Still a difficult surface on which to run with the ball. Good energy by Marshall. Across and made the challenge. Leicester need a bit more than that at the moment. Jensen, who tries to look stylish even in difficult circumstances like this, running with the ball. A little flick from Bartlett. And Johansson! Well, what a stop by Royce.
Ah, fantastic football all round. Lovely build-up, play start with pretty pearls. Beautiful flick and awareness from Bartlett. Not the easiest one to take from Johansson. And a fantastic finish at the end of it. Lovely football all round. Right. That's worthy of winning any football match. And I think he's a happier manager now.
Bartlett's 6th goal for Charlton, all at what is a very happy Valley for him.
The ball came over, it was pinpoint, but there was plenty still to do. Is that the best goal you think you've ever scored?
It's definitely one of the best. I'm quite happy with the results.
I'm just happy.
Oh, it was a great strike. I mean, it might have been just an equally as good goal. I think it was Sean that flicked it up, and if Jonathan would have finished it as well, it would have been a great goal.
Eric Cantona was part of the pre-match hype at Old Trafford, where Charlton battled hard against a Manchester United team closing in on another title.
Jensen. Todd. Now Parker. Oh, it's another lovely run. Bartlett. Parker. Oh, that's cheeky, and it could be Bartes! That would have been one of the goals of the season had it gone in. Fantastic ability by young Scott Parker. Amazing, he could regain his footing and almost in an instant have the temerity and the skill to try that. White York's done well, and even better. He's got a long way to go, and he's only at the moment got Cole in support, although Giggs is thundering forward to join them. Here is Cole. Good tackle, and it's come back to him. What a great finish by Andy Cole! Seconds before half-time, Manchester United at long last get the breakthrough. Here's Kinsella again, he uses the ball so well. Mark Fish pushing on now down the right. Finds Johansson, on to Parker. Johansson again. Danger here for Manchester United. It's a goal. Mark Fish equalises for Charlton. 17 minutes into the second half. An unlikely goal scorer, but there was nothing unlikely about the man at the heart of the build-up. It was Scott Parker, who's had an excellent game. And Fish committed himself, kept going, and gets the dividends. Johansson's ball caused all kinds of problems for Gary Neville. Mark Fish simply did what good strikers normally do, and that's follow the ball in and not give up. His first ever goal for Charlton, and what a place to score it at Old Trafford. Wes Brown. And this is Irwin. It's come through. He's done it again. Sheringham on to Solskjaer, and Manchester United get another goal.
The ball went into the box, and I think there was about 7 or 8 of our bodies in there. But he managed to get there first, and it happens a lot. I think, you know, it's no fluke that he comes on and finishes games off.
I went and see Curbs, hoping to get a move on loan, and I did, and you know, it all went from there really. It was great. You know, I just needed a change, and 3 points was different when I went to Norwich. You know, it was crucial. You know, we were struggling a bit, and coming into a side what wasn't doing pretty too well, I realised the importance of it.
Oh, that's cheeky, and it could be Bartes. That would have been one of the goals of the season.
I feel it's a boy's dream. You know, like coming up as a young kid, and as many kids would dream about, is to go and play at Old Trafford. And for me to be selected and go and play against probably the best 11, well, they are the best 11 in the country, was an absolute dream. And I feel after the first 15 minutes, what didn't go too well, I can tell you that from now, where I was running around thinking, Jesus Christ, are we going to get near these? But after that, I thought we got into our thing, and me personally, I was absolutely over the moon the way I played, and the chip what nearly beat Bartes would have just been a dream come true, and it just rounded it all off for me. But it didn't happen. But obviously, I thought the lads done very well. A 2-1 defeat, what was unlucky really, but it was well played.
Could be 2. Parker. It is 2-1.
I want to be a household name here at Charlton, and you know, I want to come back next season, hear the fans chanting my name again as usual, and that wouldn't mean nothing more to me, you know, and carry on the way I've been going. As a club, I think we can only go forward. You know, I think this year's been absolutely tremendous, better than anyone ever expected. So next year, if we can just do the same, then I'm sure everyone will be happy.
Whether it was a result of their exertions at Old Trafford or just another bout of bank holiday blues, the performance at Bradford didn't measure up to the standards expected by the management. Bradford, on the brink of relegation, claimed the 3 points with the help of a hotly disputed penalty, eventually converted by Robbie Blake. Charlton still had their chances to save the game, but no one could deny the quality of the finish by Benitez. Much to shout about except this bizarre incident involving Mervyn Day that brought much amusement to the home fans behind the dugout. So what was all that about, Merv?
A ball is flying towards the dugouts, bouncing, and I have to say that I went up in superb goalkeeper fashion. Unfortunately, didn't realise that since I last played I'd put on about 3 stone. And instead of jumping a foot in the air, I jumped 2 inches, and unfortunately landed straight on the bottle container. Went base over apex, which is a polite way of saying whatever everybody else knows, and went down to much hilarity. I looked round at our bench, and being 2-0 down, they did very well. They kept poker-faced. It was only, however, when I believe it was shown on Soccer AM, Dean Carley was the guest, and they showed the incident, and then they turned back to Dean Carley for a comment, and his only comment was 6.8 on the Richter scale. Well, a message for Dean: first day of pre-season, his pre-season, it will be 6.8 on the Richter scale. Not for me, for him.
Back at the sharp end, and another 6-goal thriller for the Valley to enjoy. This one had everything.
Delaney, now Boateng, that was rather clumsy, and it's fallen here to Sean Bartlett. Pass one, pass Boateng again with Johansson outside him. Useful ball in, and Boateng has put it into his own net. Johansson taking a fair share of the credit, but it's an own goal, and the man whose error initially gave Charlton possession has compounded it by putting it past his own goalkeeper. Just past the quarter-hour mark. That's where we lost it. Bartlett showed excellent awareness here. Little nutmeg on Steve Staunton. Johansson was wide, and Boateng slid in, and unerringly gave David James no chance at all. All about Bartlett initially, and then Johansson. Boateng would rather forget his role. Free kick, taken quickly by Charlton. Rufus sliding in there, and the referee didn't like the challenge, and nor did some of the Villa players. Tackle on Mark Delaney, almost certain to be a yellow card. Graham Poll having a red, it's red! And Rufus is sent off. He hasn't been booked. Graham Poll has deemed that a red card offence. The challenge on Delaney, and Charlton now will have to play for almost an hour with 10 men. Delaney. Dublin. Merson. Useful effort off the woodwork. Taylor. Should be 1-1. Merson was unlucky. Taylor didn't keep his cool. Robinson in the box, and was he tugged there by Steve Staunton? Penalty! Didn't look to be too much contact, but Charlton did turn to the referee in appeal, and he answered in the affirmative. Staunton and Robinson, there was the little pullback with the left arm by Steve Staunton. And now it's Klaus Jensen versus David James, and it's 2-0, right on the stroke of half-time. Here come Villa. Hendry playing it to Ginola. What an impact by the substitute. He's been on less than 15 minutes, and David Ginola has brought Villa back into the game. Merson showing some quick thinking there to take the throw. This is Darius Vassell. He's got very quick feet. It's a good run, and it's a great goal. 2-2 at the Valley. Jensen turned in towards Kinsella, and Bartlett's trickery nearly resulted in a third goal for Charlton. Credit David James, not sure how much he knew about the save, but he managed to block it. Kinsella didn't get much contact on it. Bartlett did, and it came off James's head. Hendry. Villa going for the jugular now. They can sense a third goal. This is Merson. Might try his luck again here. Terrific effort,
And was that over the line? He says yes, but the assistant official kept his flag down. That's twice now that Paul Merson has rattled the frame of the Charlton goal. But Charlton going forward themselves. Here's Kinsella, charged for 3 through the Addix, and it is! Incredible! A minute from time, the 10 men are back in front. Crowd are off their feet. Alan Kirbishley, I'm sure, can't quite believe it. The line between winning and losing in football is so thin sometimes. Paul Merson thought he'd scored for Villa. It wasn't given. Charlton broke away, and Kinsella took his chance expertly as David James came out to meet it. The majority of the 20,000 crowd are baying for the whistle from Graham Poll. Literally just seconds to go. Time maybe for one more Villa attack. Up goes Taylor. Now Dublin. Fish couldn't get to it. Hendry! And Villa have stolen a point right at the death. Well, they won't forget his name. He struck it sweetly. No chance for Illich. And with virtually the last kick of the match, Villa have got themselves an equaliser.
They have a lot of possession, probably deserve something out of the game, but when you're 3-2 up with a couple of minutes to go, you should hopefully defend on and get the 3 points, which we didn't, so the heads are down, but we'll lift them up again for the weekend.
Charlton did superbly to beat Chelsea at the Valley. Beating them in their own backyard, though, that really was some achievement.
Dalabona. Zola. It's well worked for Sam Dalabona, who's got a shot away! And given Charlton a big early scare. Parker. Bartlett's peeled off. Kinsella. Jensen. Jensen's drive. Cudicini's lost it. Bartlett scores. His first goal away from the Valley, and one that will mean much to followers of the club. Cudicini's fielding of the original shot was questionable at best, but that does not concern them one bit. Kinsella was at the hub of it. Jensen got the drive away. Cudicini ought really to have fielded it more comfortably than that. Bartlett had an empty goal to aim at. 1-0 Charlton. Jensen over the free kick in the sunshine. Desai away. Came to Parker. Jensen again. He's taken Zola out of it. It's Jensen's cross. It's Bartlett's hit. Always rising. Johansson let it come to Sean Bartlett once Jensen's clever feet had created the opening. The long throw, Melchiot met it. Todd's clearance has come straight to Graham Lasso, and Lasso can drive one, which wasn't too far away from the left-hand post of Sasa Illich. Jensen. Kishishev. Jensen faced by Dalabona. Here's Konchesky. Johansson let it go. Jensen. Quick feet from Jensen, but he just couldn't get the shot in before he was closed down, and his subtle touch there enables Cudicini to prevent any further danger. The Chelsea fans have seen enough. A grey day in their existence. It's all up for Chelsea. It's a day that Charlton folk will relish, Sean Bartlett in particular. An all-too rare away win, but a memorable one for those folk who've had relatively little to cheer on the road. Plenty of heroes congratulated by the management team on the way off. That is a day that Charlton will cherish.
What's your impression of your first season in the Premiership?
Well, everything's been going good. I've settled in quite good, and the players are quite familiar with me by now, so I'm just hoping that everything works out and I get the permanent contract I've been playing for.
Charlton's response to the Bradford defeat had been positive. A UEFA Cup place was a possibility. But Ipswich were getting the plaudits, and they had Champions League aspirations.
Well, we've already seen in recent weeks the spectacular ability of Martin Raisetheroof from free kicks. Sasa Ilic in the Charlton goal will know all about the threat. Didn't mean he could do anything about it, though, did it? The post comes to Charlton's rescue. Rufus gets it back again. Jensen. Good running by Robinson and plenty of targets. Svensson's one of them! What a superb goal!
It was an excellent build-up from Charlton. Jensen very much involved. Plays a great little ball in here. Robinson puts it in nice and early. I was talking about earlier how Matty Holland attacked the ball in the box. Another great example here of how to attack the ball. Bramble stands and waits. Svensson gets in front of him. It's a terrific header. Real power, accuracy. It's the pace of the ball that beats Richard Wright, goes straight through him, gives Charlton the lead.
Goes short instead this time to Magilton, and back again to Raisetheroof. A good ball in, and he cracked through the whole crowd. What a remarkable equaliser for Ipswich. What a mess for Charlton. Magilton again. Cross to Holland, the layoff towards Stewart, very good save. Can't get the ball back at the moment, Charlton. Now they will after the mistake by Holland, but not for long. And Charlton relieved to get a free kick out of that.
There were certainly enough passes in that movement there from Ipswich. Not the best of balls in from a Raisetheroof, but clever play from Holland. Into the path, I think it took a deflection off Todd, into the path of Stewart, who wastes absolutely no time, cracks at his left foot, and it produces an excellent save from Ilic, low down to his left-hand side.
Jensen's free kick into the danger area. Rufus couldn't reach it. Oh, the goalkeeper's made a terrible mistake, and Charlton are back in front. Rufus takes the congratulations, but Richard Wright knows that that has to go down to an error on his part.
Just look at the space that Stewart gets at the far post here. Nobody with him, controls it, plays it into an area. I think a little bit harsh there on Wright. I think Rufus just gets his foot to it, lifts it over the keeper. Was Rufus in an offside position? Certainly on that angle, it's inconclusive.
And is this another opportunity for the Dutchman Martin Raisetheroof?
On this occasion, fearing that he may put it over the wall like he did, Todd's gone back onto the post.
Oh, that's a brilliant effort and a very, very important save by Ilic.
Tell you what, that is a fantastic save. I thought that was destined for the back of the net. It's a brilliant free kick. Just gets a little touch. Just flicks off the head of Bartlett.
Svensson's flick on. Bartletton! What a good effort.
It was a good effort. It was a great turn in the quickness in which he gets his shot in. Little flick from Svensson. Quick turn here. And what a good save, low down by his near post by Richard Wright.
It's a great result for us. I think that I've asked the players you know, not to tail off and keep going, and you know they've done it again tonight.
2 more games to go. Can you make the European places?
Well, I think we've got to win both them games. If we can do that, we'll have to wait and see. But certainly, you know, we'll keep going.
But the fading European dream finally ended at the Stadium of Light and defeat by the odd goal in 5 at Sunderland. There was no stopping Kevin Kilban's thunderbolt. An open game sprung to life. John Robinson's cross caught out the home defence. Chris Powell teed up Matt Svensson for an acrobatic equaliser. Charlton were missing Richard Rufus at the heart of their defence. It showed. Before half-time, they'd conceded again, as Niall Quinn out-jumped everyone to finish off Stefan Schwartz's cross. Sunderland needed the points to keep alive their own European chances. They had daylight when Kevin Phillips connected from point-blank range. Charlton's response was superb. Graham Stewart cleverly turned the ball back for Klaus Jensen to reduce the arrears. Now Charlton had the forward momentum. But somehow from Sean Newton's cross, Kevin Lisby failed to hit the target. Another frustrating Charlton away day. Back at the Valley, the builders were getting stuck in and the roof was being removed from the famous covered end. Chairman Richard Murray and his board of directors are determined that Charlton will be one of the leading lights in the Premiership.
Well, it takes us up to 26,500 capacity, and I believe that, you know, gives us a Premiership stadium which will match the Premiership team which Alan's put together for us on the pitch. It's being built in a particular way whereby we'll have 3,000 seats at the beginning of the season, a further 3,000 in November and the final 3,000 in December. It's a wraparound design which will really connect these 3 stands all together, and I think it will give an absolutely fabulous atmosphere. It's not the final step, that's for sure. We've got the other end to develop, and we hope eventually to take the stadium up to about a 36,000 capacity. I think we are the success story of London football this year. We've had a great time at the Valley. Anybody who's been down here every week has seen some fabulous games. And I truly believe there are really exciting times ahead for all Charlton supporters.
And so to the final game of a memorable season at a packed Valley. A grandstand finish was Charlton's only aim, but after a unique cup hat-trick, Liverpool were looking to complete their remarkable year with the win that would guarantee a place in the Champions League. And Lady Luck smiled on them once again.
Kinsella. Well, he took the shot early, it took a deflection.
Well, if that's on target, it's in, Mark. I tell you, the goalkeeper's giving this up. No doubt about it. Whether it takes him by surprise, Sander Westerveld, but you watch a goalkeeper, he just doesn't do anything. He's giving it up, he thinks it's in.
Jens. Misjudged it. Carragher, oh, it's Svensson. Good stop by Westerveld. For Jamie Carragher's considerable relief.
Graham Stewart is at the referee. He's absolutely certain it was a handball. He's got his back to us, but I think this ball skips up and it may well have struck the arm mark. He thinks Babel's going to win it, and when he doesn't, that's hitting him right smack bang in the middle of the arm, that ball. That's when it strikes. Don't know how good a referee. You can see where the referee is, edge of the box. He might not have had the best view of that. But they get away with it.
Jensen. Stewart. Svensson. Kinsella. Wasn't quite there to be hit first time. Back to Svensson! Oh, against the post! Luck on Liverpool's side.
How dare you say that? Well, we wondered whether the luck would continue. Player asked Gary McAllister that very question before the match, and here's an answer. It does. The wonderful header is beating the goalkeeper, all ends up, and it comes slashing back off the woodwork. Does it drop for one of the players? No, it drops to a Liverpool defender.
And it is Brown. Oh! Well, it was very well hit and very well saved.
Goalkeeper side, you'd expect him to save it. Westerveld did his job, you see him, goes to that side of the wall. Shouldn't be beating that side, but it took a very, very good save. This starts to arc away from the goalkeeper. Finding the corner all right. Fine save.
Klaus Jensen trying to pick his spot. Oh, the goalkeeper's lost it. Oh, when you thought Stewart was coming in as a certain scorer, Westerveld redeemed himself.
Well, he's enjoyed a bit of good fortune today, Westerveld. He does make a great recovery. It's a pretty poor attempt at the first save. But I just wonder if Graham Stewart hits that into the roof of the net, Martin. Could the goalkeeper have done anything about it?
It's the one-handed signal from Owen. Murphy. Fowler pulling away. Oh, Danny Murphy! It's 2 for Liverpool. And how they've got a grip in the early minutes of the second half. Owen. Robbie Fowler can set his sights here. How impressive is that?
Despite the last day hiccup, 9th place and 52 points was a terrific performance by Charlton Athletic. The lessons from 2 years back had been learnt. They'd coped admirably to life back in the Premiership.
For me, Man City was perhaps my yardstick. And we just got beat 5-0. I made quite a few changes. And I asked for a different philosophy, a different attitude. And that's no disrespect to the players that have been playing before. But perhaps we said to ourselves, enough was enough. We keep going to these away grounds and not getting anything. And we want to do something about it. And I think that, for me, told me, that perhaps we wasn't going to, really get sucked into it this year. We got a great result up there, 4-1. We followed it up here with a fantastic result and performance against Arsenal. And I think, we knew that perhaps we wasn't going to get dragged into too many things this year, and that we had a chance of getting further up the league table. So I think the Man City away result was a defining moment. 2 years ago, people could have thought, well, everyone's here to enjoy themselves, and let's give it our best shot. But I think this year's been a little bit different, and they've seen better performances and better results, but the support has not been better. It's been, I think that they've kept a level and have shown everybody that if you come to the Valley, you're in for a tough time on the pitch and off the pitch.
Only Jensen in the centre. That might be enough. It is 2-1.
The players that come in, I've got to make sure that they become part of the club, and I think I've said that about all the signings. No matter how much we spent, that they actually had to know what Charlton was and what we were about. I didn't want to bring someone in from anywhere, and he came to us because we was in London and next to the Dome, and that's where he wanted to live. That couldn't be the priority of this football club. We had to make sure that they knew who we were about and were hungry. We've walked around quite proud now, but we've always managed over the last 3 or 4 years that the graph was an upward one. And I just, without being negative, I just want them to think that, if we can stay in this league next year, then that is still part of an upward graph. And, and they know as well as anybody how this club operates. And as I said, if we can manage to, in the next 2 seasons, establish ourselves, I think then we've got a great chance of becoming a force in the Premiership.
So that's it, the end of another season for Charlton, but what a season. A top 10 finish, a year that's seen the emergence of some new heroes, all masterminded, of course, by Alan Curbishley. Here's to another great season ahead. Bye-bye for now.